Okay, now you can see the controller a little bit better up close. And well, let me start from the start. It has an on-off switch over here. When you turn it on, you are in the so-called automatic mode, which is actually the manual mode, and the manual mode is called automatic mode. So I have to change the naming around, but the original code was written like that, and I did not get around yet to change it around because it creates problems when I try to just change the name around somehow. Anyway, the original code, which I will link in the description, and I forgot the guy's name, but it was uploaded like I think 4 or 5 years ago, and I did tell them that I'm working on a camera slider and using his code to start with, and if he would like to get a pair of PCBs for free, I would send it to him so he can upgrade it. I'm not sure if he's still using his code or not, or his camera slider. And anyway, the original code had only the slider motor. I did add, of course, the panning. I did not go for the third axis to adjust for height, because that I will do from the tripod that I'm gonna mount underneath here. Underneath here there. I will show you that later video as well. And this is just, well, the case itself is mounted, but the front is not mounted yet, so it's loose. Excuse that. And anyway, on the top left we have a direction indicator that has a second secret function. Well, not secret, but anyway, I can use the encoder, as you can see, to manually pan. And the code right now has a fixed panning over a distance that will be adjustable as well, or you can set it up to which distance you want the object be from the camera, because obviously the closer you are, the faster it has to pan, and the further away it is, the slower you have to pan. Not just slower, but also less degree, and that will be also adjustable. I'm writing this code with the help of AI, which I don't know if it's help or curse, because they get so many things wrong and that I have to point them out to get it right. But anyway, without AI I would not be able to write code this fast. Not that it's fast, but anyway, I do have help from AI, American and Chinese Copilot and DeepSeek. And anyway, so in the top left corner, if it's there, you can pan. That's the not indicated function, and if you click the confirm button, which is also the play pause button, you can change the direction it will go. So underneath that, and you navigate the menu with the plus minus buttons. You can see here the cursor moves, rather a nice animation. And here is the home button. What I have to fix, there are 2 pixels next to the house here that I have to get rid of. I don't know where they came from. Anyway, if you're in the homing function, clicking the button, it does home at a set speed, comes to a stop and pulls away. And then you can, well, the menu is a little bit obstructed now. I have the middle function, which is the encoder bitmap, and if I click that, I can manually move the slider. In this mode, you can actually hear the motor. That will be fine-tuned. That has to go away. But most likely when you record with the slider, you're not recording the voice with it or audio. And although I have a wireless microphone, I could I could record the audio separately. And the clue is, if you look at the icon, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it in the video, the finger groove moves with the direction, and of course the slider moves with the motor, which is out of the window now. So after you're home, you can also set the distance it takes, or count the steps and save them to EEPROM for the distance it takes to the other end stop on the left. And once it does that, also here's a caliper icon, and that is actually the icon that you use for the calibration. So if it's right there, if I click that, you can see it move away, and it will move to the far end. I will stop it now by using my ruler to trigger the end stop. It changes color, or it gets solid. Normally, if you first set it up, it looks like this, and you can reset the calibration with this button. Now it's reset, it's not saved. And once you set it, like I simulated now, it turns solid, or it fills the caliper. So this way it is set. And once you have it homed and calibrated to the steps, the slider, the camera slider, adjusts to the far end, to the right end, and then goes in between. And yes, it goes in between. So here's the calibration, and then we have the encoder mode, which I showed you. Here's the home mode, and here's the direction indicator, which actually the direction indicator in this auto mode doesn't have a function, because you're using the encoder to move it back and forth. And here's the automatic mode indicator. When you click on it, it changes to manual. And on the manual, you have the direction, which actually does work. So home is the same as the button. Here is the manual. If you click it again, it goes automatic mode. And if you come towards this side, and the reason why the speed is smaller and to the left and has only one indicator right now is, well, you can adjust the speed of the motorized slider, and you will be able to adjust the distance, as I said before, between the camera and the object that you want to record. That is that. And then you go further away, you have the play button, or play icon. If you click that, it does move. Now that I did not home it the whole way, you see it did stop, because it remembers where home is, even though it didn't come to the home stop. But it does save it to EEPROM, and it will also remember the far end stop on the left. And here, when you select it, select the rectangle fills. If you select it like that, and then you can use the plus minus button to adjust the speed, and you select it out, and if you move the motor, then it's slower, or you can partly see the motor. And while it's moving, you can go to the direction and then change the direction of it directly. And you can also change the speed. You can make it even slower, which is almost, you can hardly see it. And of course, speed it up again, and then come to the play pause. And in the direction mode, again, you have the option to set your camera to whichever, you see it on here on the left, whichever to the object that you want to track or want to record. So this is basically it. So the code is not finished yet. I will add the panning function, or the panning function is there, but the adjustment of it, and get rid of the two dead pixels, or not dead pixels, the 2 pixels that show up there. I don't know why. And I think this is it for today's video. I don't want to make it too long, But you can see it does work nicely. It's really silent on automatic mode, which here it's manual mode. It's just crazy. I have to change the name altogether. And you can set, of course, there are 2 pins that can be set on the TMC driver for microstepping, and these are all connected to the chip, and I can individually set them high, low, and therefore set the microstepping of the motors individually between the panning and the sliding motor. And I might I have it now in the code, but I might make it so that you can set it on the controller itself as well via the settings. And on the fastest I think it goes, it takes 25 seconds left to right, and on the slowest I will go even slower, because now I can adjust the micro steps. I had it to 20 minutes from one side to the other side, so it's like so slow that you can hardly see the camera move. And it will be even slower because I had it set to 16 step, and I can 16 microsteps, and I can set it to 64 microsteps. So that would be like 80 minutes from one side to the other side. And in this mode, as I mentioned, it's silent. You cannot hear it, especially if it's slow. Let me just let it home so it will come to this side so I can show you. Homing is set at a certain speed, so it's not too fast and run into the end stop, or too slow that it takes forever. Okay, now if I go to play mode, of course it automatically changes the direction and goes to this side. And now I can go into speed setting. This is of course wrong because I did not have it homed. Let me actually home that as well so I can show you. Now it's homing all the way to the other side, which you can, well, I can pan my phone. So now it did home there. And if I click, go into manual mode again, and play, hit play, it does come. Of course, I did not do it the correct way. I have to home it first and then set the microsteps. I had homed to the middle of the slider. So let's do this again. Please excuse me. It's okay, you have to follow the right steps. Now I go into automatic, calibrate again, and then it will know the left and the right. For the motor wires, I have a coiled wire underneath the slider that I'm using. So now that we did that, you didn't see that I just changed the menu and hit the slider button, the play button. Now it will come all the way to the side. Trust me, it works. Actually, you could use the homing and the step setting to make the travel shorter. I just thought of that. I was gonna make that as an option as well, but it's getting too complicated, And I saw code that does have that. You can adjust the millimeters it will travel and the speed it will travel, and that's it. And I am taking the code a couple steps further, but I just thought of that. If I just using something metal, coin, metal ruler, whatever, if you have a metal ring, you can use your ring, and when you set it up in a shorter distance, it will only move in that shorter distance without having it to adjust in the menu. So anyway, long story short, if I hit play now, it will go all the way to the other side. Without me touching the controls with my hands. And you can hear that you don't hear the motor. And if I click play again, it will come back all the way. You can of course pause it in the middle, continue, and you can see here the panning of the camera, obviously. And that you will be able to adjust in the code. And here you can see the coiled wire that I'm using. And this is it. So it does save all the settings, and the Neopixel light I have not, I just put 4 different light colors in there. I could use that as an indicator as well if it comes to an end stop or not. And let me show you one more thing in automatic mode that I control with the encoder. Here, if I select that, and I can come to a stop here, and you can see it did stop, but I can obviously pull away. So once I come to a stop, I cannot go further, but I can move away from it. Obviously, otherwise it would make no sense. Again, in this mode, I'm using 2 different kinds of pre-scalers. The first one has a pre-scaler of 1. That's why it's silent. And here I have a pre-scaler of 256 because I could not get the slider to go fast enough, and that makes noise, so I will have to change that. I might be able to use the same prescaler and with the different micro steppings get it to have it faster. So that I have to figure still out, and I needed to have this all finished before it was on a breadboard. And let me show you that. This was my setup. And that's obviously not ideal with those connections and everything. So once I did get my PCB, I could work on the code again, did some pin adjustments and whatnot. And before I was running it with 12 volts, now I'm actually running it only with 8.4 volt from the battery. And yeah, it has 4 legs. You can put it on a table. It has a arca mount, so I can use my tripod. Which is here. So I can mount it on here, and then I can adjust the height of it manually. So that's why I didn't add a 3rd axis, as I don't, to be honest, don't see much use of it. And I can put it on the tripod, have it angled. Now it's flat, I have it angled, and then move from panning, and then it will actually adjust the tilt as well, kind of mechanically. So this is it for today. It ended up way longer than I thought. I hope you're still here. I know Adam and Pete, you're still here watching it, and As I said, I will make these available for sale on my Tindy store. You can check my other products as well. And if you like the video, please do hit the like button, which like 10 people do. And yeah, this is it, and I will show you again. I have to reprint this case here and then finish the wiring. I will show you the wiring as well here with the end caps. So this is the wiring, these are the motors. I had to figure out after the direction of the motors to set it right. And this is a cable sleeve, and these end caps will be hammered into the slot. Let me show you from this side here and the camera. So this is how I did it. I normally do hide cables even more, but this was the best solution I came up with. And this is the battery. It's the NP battery. F750 means 4400 milliamp capacity. You can even go higher. I expect this to run several hours, and that should give me enough time. And here on the controller you can also see the extra Type-C input. From there you can then power it directly at home through a wall charger or whatnot, and have it run independently or forever. And yeah, this is it. Thanks for watching, and take care everybody.